This has to be the fastest Amazon has ever delivered something to my house in recorded history. It's the Fulaim X5 system. It's a wireless microphone system that can be used with your phone, your tablets, your computer, just anything that it can connect to. It can also record on its own. So let's get into this thing. Let's talk about it. Let's look inside of it and see what it's good for, see how it works. And then I'll give you my final thoughts on it. So the first thing that caught me is that this box is really sturdy. It's like an expensive box that can protect your stuff. But here's the thing that impressed me the most. I love this, I love it. And you'll see this is a theme throughout. So listen to this. You hear that? That's magnets. It has magnets in the box. Now, any company that has that much attention to detail is really good with me. So what did I see when I opened the box? Well, first of all, what do you get? You get the usual documentation, all the books and stuff. There you go. And it comes in this nice case right here. And with the, there we go. It comes with the name on it, Fulaim, and here's the documentation and the instructions. First thing you're going to get here is the Type-C data cable. You use this to transfer information from one part to the other part. You get a charging cable for the case. Perfect. Then here you get the camera cable to connect this to your cameras and your phones. And finally, you get this. Look at that. It's the windscreen. You get two of them. They snap right on the top of the apparatus, and that way you can block all the wind. What else do you get in the box? Well, you get this. This is the brain. This is the system. So what I'm holding here, take a good look at it. This is the charging case. Now the charging case has these LEDs on the front to let you know the charge of the case. Also has a USB-C type connection on the back. Now, it's made of like this hard, durable plastic. So I think it can withstand some drops. It can withstand some dust, things like that. Now scratches, I don't know, but it's a case. As long as it charges and it holds a charge and protects what's inside, I'm okay. All right, so let's take a look at this when you open it up. What do you have inside? You have the receiver and two transmitters. So that means it's one unit that displays all of the information. If you look closely at it, you can have the battery levels, the mode that you're recording in, the levels of each, the recording level of each transmitter, and how much battery it has. Perfect. Now, the two transmitters, that can work in two different ways. You can have one to record by itself and it goes to the receiver, or the transmitters have dedicated memory on them. So you don't really need a transmitter, you can just record right to that. Also, nice surprise. So look inside. So if you look closely, you see those dots up there. Those are UV lights. So every time you close this, it sterilizes the microphones for you. So let's say if you share them out or you do recordings or interviews, things like that, every time you put them in the charge, voila, it's sanitized. So this has a 3.5mm headphone jack for monitoring. And why is that important? Because when you connect your headphones to this, you can listen to the sound quality before you start doing your projects. You can hear whether it's crackly, you can hear whether it's too loud or too soft, background noise, all of that. This allows you to monitor it. This microphone system is compatible with almost everything. If you use the connectors available, you can connect it to your Android phone, you can connect it to your iPhone, you can connect it to your camera, you can just wear it and record by itself and transfer stuff to the computer. You can use it with everything. That's what I like about things that's universal. You don't have to keep buying a lot of gear to do the same thing for different purposes. For beginners, this is perfect because you can use it for everything. So the part what I really like about this is that it has a noise reduction switch. Now, let me tell you why this is important, because when I go out and exercise, you know, I like to take my walk and I talk and I video things. But as I'm on the side of the road, you can always hear the cars go by, the noise. hear the fan noise, you hear the car noise, you hear the dogs barking, people cutting grass outside, all of the noise you don't want. Well, with this, you press the button once and it reduces all of the noise. It's gone right in this little thing. Also, if you hold the little yellow button on the side down, it starts to record onto the transmitter itself. You have a whole 4 gigabytes worth of memory. The sound is some of the highest quality available, so it doesn't compress it. It doesn't record an inferior sound, but it's some of the best sound you can get. When you use this in conjunction with the charging case, you can get up to 18 hours of battery life. I mean, I don't know who needs to use 18 hours straight of battery life, but I use mine 10, 20 minutes at a time, put it up, recharge it and go again. So this could definitely last you a while. The magnets are very strong. Watch this. I mean, as soon as it gets close, it zips right to the metal clip. Both transmitters come with magnets and they're very strong. And I love this part about it because with normal lavalier microphones, you would have to wrinkle the clothes or pinch it in a certain way so that the alligator clip could be clipped onto the subject or whoever's wearing the microphone. But in this case, you don't have to wrinkle the clothes, you don't have to clip it, you can just hide it and secure it with a magnet. But the downside to that is this. You get a, you can see the magnet, the black dot on the clothing. So you will have to find a way to conceal that. But it is a whole lot better than just having the thing sit out. All right, y'all, here we are, ready to do the distance test. I had to do one because everybody else did one. So this microphone system is rated to record and have signal for about 630 feet. So let's test it out and I'm gonna show you how far that is using the railroad tracks. Now, I'm not gonna walk backwards because I know it needs to have a clean line of sight. I'm not gonna do that because I'm gonna fall and it's gonna be on camera. Or maybe I should because it'll be viral. But here we go, let's go. All right, so I'm walking and I need to go 630 feet away. And that's about a 1/10 of a mile, a little more than a 1/10 of a mile. So that's a good distance. Now, what are some use cases for that? Like, why would you want something to have this far of a distance that you are recording? Well, I can think of a few things. Let's say, for instance, you are a motivational or public speaker or something like that, and you wanted to record your presentation. Well, you don't have to use what's close. You could set someone in the back of the theater and then do your speech and record perfectly onto whatever device you want. So that's a plus. The next thing, let's say you are a photographer or a videographer for like weddings. You don't have to be close. You can be a 1/10 of a mile away and still get signal. It picks up all the way out here at the most. So again, what are some use cases for this? As far as using the distance, or let's say if you had to capture some data, capture a voice of someone, who was on stage and you were further back. That's definitely something you can do with this. It's a wise idea to have backups too. And what I like about this system is that even though they have the distance like this, we can go a long way. But what's really good is that I can record on me. So I have the record function engaged right now. And it's recording everything that I say, even though I'm a 1/10 of a mile away. So that in itself, oh boy, that is aces. So I think this is a pretty good system. Now, is it comparable to like in-studio microphones, like the boom mics, the shotgun mics, the condenser mics, the dynamic mics? No, not even close. But if you're out in the road, you're on location, and you have to get sound, oh, this is good. This is perfect. If you're a creator, you make TikToks or Instagram reels, things for YouTube,
perfect. I would strongly recommend it. So the cost, I mean, for what you get, $125, you can't beat that. I mean, other things like the Rode Wireless Go, you know, $299. The DJI, I don't know the name of it, but the DJI wireless mic, look at that. That's 350 bucks. I mean, yeah, they have a little more features, a little more everything, but who really needs that? With this, you have the wireless distance, you have the magnets, you have noise cancellation. I mean, what else do you need? You don't need anything else. So that was my distance test, and now I'm here.
Now we're at the end. I've tested the microphone. I've been outside, inside, in the studio, out the studio, around cars, around lawnmowers, everything. I put this thing through the paces. So now I got to give you my final verdict. This is what I think. Overall, I think it's a win. Overall, it's a win. So let me tell you some of the things that I do like about it. It's small. It's so small, in fact, like it's the size of 2 AA batteries side by side. Now, for something that you carry around with you and clip on, you can't beat that. That's very small. All before, like I would use something like this, my Tascam, you know, this thing in my pocket. Like in my pocket with a lavalier mic, and this is like many times the size. So I definitely like that. I like the fact that it's easy to use. You know, once you open the top, they turn on, you pull them out, bam, it's paired. You don't have to go through any menus. You don't have to do anything like that. You just pull it out and go to work. The versatility is a really good thing. You can use this in a lot of different ways. Like for instance, right now, I'm using it as a backup. It's sitting on top of my camera, connected in and recording the sound directly into the camera body. Perfect. You can use it with your phone. You record stuff on your phone and get microphone quality. Like if you make TikToks or motivational videos or anything with your phone, plug this in, clip it on, bam, you're good to go. If you want to plug it into a computer or audio interface, it can do that too. They give you all of the cables, all of the connections. So I really like the versatility. So the next part that I really like is the fact that you can record separately. You record on the transmitter. So you can't beat that. So it's like a standalone device. You put that on, you record on transmitter, and you can go about your business. You can put it in your audio editing program and EQ it, do everything you need to do to it afterwards. That's a win. I like the noise cancellation. When I was outside and I was walking and cars were passing by and lawnmowers were going off, the noise cancellation worked wonders. I could hear myself loud and clear. It was wonderful. But I did have a problem with it when I used it in the studio. It's like my voice had this funny echo to it. But I don't know, maybe you need a lot of noise for the noise cancellation to work, but I won't be using it. The next one is a plus and a minus. So when you plug the receiver into your phone or any other device, it siphons the power to keep itself charged so it doesn't go out. And I know why they do that, because you don't want to be on this long session recording and thinking you're sending a signal out, but it's dead. So that's a plus. I like that part, but I don't like that part because if you're using your phone, then you know, it sips away your power slowly but surely. So if you're using your phone for video, some videos sap a lot of power. So it could drop that. In my case, I had it on for maybe an hour and a half and shooting video and speaking. I started at 100% and I ended up at about 68%. So that's not too bad considering, you know, for a whole hour and a half, I was shooting video, not all the way through, but you know, a minute here, turn it off, a minute there. But to only use, you know, a little more than 30% is not bad. I talked about this earlier. Magnets. My gosh, the magnets. Oh, I love the magnets because before, you would have to find a way to clip things on or bunch up a shirt and clip it on that way. You know, all types of things. The magnet just alleviates all of that. You don't have to worry about that part. And as a matter of fact, let me show you something. I have one here, right? Let's see if you can see it. It's right here under my collar. But I'm wearing all black, so you can't tell. But yep, it's right there. It's hidden under my collar. So the magnet is very versatile, and it's a strong magnet. You can stick it to almost anything that's metal, and it would stay there. The clip is magnetized as well as the little circular magnet. But the problem I have with it is, what happens if you lose the magnet? I mean, I'm quite sure you can probably replace it with something else, but this thing is small, little light disc, so that's going to be difficult unless they sell spares somewhere. And the last thing that I like about this is the learning curve is short. It's really short. There are minimal buttons on there, minimal menus, and you pull it out, you press a button for noise cancellation, you hold the button down to record it, and that's it. That's it. It works on its own. You don't need to know a lot. So, what are my complaints? Because there's not many things that's 100%. And I do have some complaints about this thing. I do have them. And they are, they're warranted. So the first thing is the carrying case. So here, you get this, right? You get the charging case. And when you open it up, you see you have the receiver inside, and then you have these things here, that OTG cable for connecting to your phone and other devices. But guess what else? Look, it comes with this data cable. It comes with another cable, and you can't bring all that with you. So you have to put it in something else just to bring it. I don't like that. I wish that this case was big enough to hold all the stuff. And especially these OTG cables here, they're like just sitting on this, in between these pieces of plastic. And it's held there by gravity, because I'm not even gonna call it friction. So it can easily fall out. You lose it, don't know what to do. Now, any OTG cable works, but these are formulated especially for the receiver. So yeah, good luck with that. Now, the next thing I have an issue with is the LCD stream. Now, ooh boy, what can I say about it? It's not good. It's not. In normal usage, you can see it. On the inside, when you're indoors, it's bright, easy to read, everything is there, perfect. But once you go outside on a sunny day, you might as well hang it up. You can't see a thing. You know nothing at all. I tested it. I went out and I stood in the shade. And I looked at it, I had my camera focused on it, and you couldn't see it. And I stepped out into the sun and it was worse. I even went and turned the ISO all the way down to brighten up everything, and you could see it then, but it was blowing out the background. So it's not unusable, but it's definitely not very bright and easy to see. So the other part that I don't care for is that you have to play with the levels a lot. You have to like see what works for your camera, and it might not be the same thing that works when you're wearing it. So it takes a little bit of trial and error, but that's not so bad, but you know, that's something to deal with. So overall, okay, who is this for? Who needs to buy this? Who needs to use this? If you are a creator and you use your phone, let's say you create videos for TikTok or some YouTube shorts, Instagram, this is perfect. You plug it in the bottom of your phone, you say what you got to say, you go. Perfect. For me, it's good for a backup, a safety track. So if I'm doing corporate interviews or I'm shooting videos like this, I can use this to record directly into the camera while I still use my professional microphones. Who else is this good for? If you don't have anything, yes, go ahead and get this. I paid $105. Retail was about $125. I got some coupons off, things like that. So I got my hands on this. But let's say like you're running a podcast. I have a couple friends right now run a podcast, and there's two guys, but they don't have any microphones. So a system like this would be perfect, because all you have to do is take your receiver, put it where you want to put it. You have two of these. One person gets one, the other person gets the other one, and there you go. Your whole podcast is recorded. I like that part. But for me, I'll just use it as a backup. So for me, I'm gonna stick to my professional microphones. I have my shotgun mic up here, just out of frame, like right there. And any other microphones that I use, I'll probably stick to those. But I will use these when I'm out and about. If I'm out filming something, or I have a speech or something to say that day, oh, I clip it on and record it right then. It's good for that. So anyway, that's all I got. I hope you were able to go on and make a good decision whether you want to purchase this or not. I hope it helps you to do whatever you need to do. I hope it helps you to help your audience get closer to you. So anyway, be blessed.